that the same balcony you walk past every single day without thinking about could produce a full 30-day supply of food for your family. No land, no garden, no farming experience, no expensive equipment, just 5 layers of food production stacked in the same vertical space you already own. Stay until the 3-minute mark because layer 3 is the one that will completely change how you think about your balcony forever. The average supermarket holds only 3 days of food inventory at any given moment. A single transport disruption, a supply chain breakdown, a regional emergency, and those shelves empty within 72 hours. We watched this happen in real time in 2020. And every family who had zero food independence paid the price. The solution is not stockpiling canned goods indefinitely. The solution is building a living food system that produces fresh food continuously, month after month, from the space you already have. Every system that fails does so for the same reason. It is built in one dimension. A flat row of pots, all growing at the same height, competing for the same sunlight, producing for one season then starting over from scratch. Always consuming your time and money, never compounding, never building towards something permanent. What I am going to show you today is completely different. A 5-layer vertical food system designed specifically for apartment balconies and small outdoor spaces. 5 layers stacked from floor to ceiling of your balcony, each layer doing a different job, each layer supporting the layers beside it, together creating a system that produces fresh food every single week of the year from a space most people treat as a storage area for old furniture. Layer 1. The vertical wall layer. This is your fastest producing layer and the one you build first. Vertical wall planters mounted directly on your balcony railing or wall, taking up zero floor space. What grows here? Leafy greens. Spinach, lettuce, kale, herbs, spring onions, and Swiss chard. These are the fastest producing plants on earth, from seed to harvest in 3 to 4 weeks. Plant them in a vertical pocket planter, available for under $20. Layer 2. The container layer. This is your main food production layer. Large containers, minimum 20 liters, positioned on your balcony floor producing the staple vegetables your family eats most. Tomatoes, peppers, chilies, cucumbers, dwarf beans, and courgettes. A single large container of cherry tomatoes produces. The container layer is your summer abundance machine. Container setup costs for a family of 4, under $80 in containers and soil. Annual seed cost, under $15. Layer 3, the perennial layer. This is where your balcony food system stops being a garden and starts being an asset. Perennial plants are plants you put in the ground once and harvest from for years, sometimes decades, without ever replanting. Most people growing food on balconies never discover perennials because the layer breaks that cycle. Strawberries planted in a hanging basket this spring will produce fruit every year for 4 to 5 years without being replanted. A dwarf blueberry bush in a large container produces berries every June and July for 20 years from a single planting. Perennial herbs, rosemary, thyme, sage, chives, planted once in a container last for years. Perennial layer is the layer that compounds. The layer just grows. It does not start over. It builds. Layer 4. The climbing layer. Most balcony food growers waste the most valuable space they have, vertical height. The climbing layer captures it. A simple bamboo trellis or wire frame against your balcony wall becomes a support structure for the most productive food plants per square foot available. Runner beans climb to 2 meters and produce continuously from July through October. A single plant produces over 100 pods across a season if the climbing layer gives you maximum food production. Layer 5. The microgreen layer. This is your indoor emergency layer, the layer that produces fresh food. Microgreens are germinated seeds harvested at the seedling stage, 7 to 14 days from planting to harvest. Radish microgreens, sunflower shoots, pea shoots, broccoli microgreens, all grown in shallow trays on a windowsill or under a grow light inside your apartment. A single tray of radish microgreens planted today is ready to eat in 7 days. It requires nothing but a shallow container, some potting mix, water, and light. It produces a harvest with more nutritional density per gram than the mature vegetable. Broccoli microgreens contain up to 40 times the concentration of certain nutrients found in mature broccoli. And in a genuine food emergency, a week of supply chain disruption, a microgreen layer is the system that keeps your family eating fresh food regardless of what is happening outside. A complete microgreen setup for continuous production costs under $30. Total setup cost for all 5 layers under $200. Annual ongoing cost under $30 in seeds. Food produced in year 1. Enough fresh vegetables to significantly reduce your grocery bill every week from June through October. You do not need land. You do not need a garden. You need 5 layers, a balcony, and the understanding that the best time to plant layer 1 was last spring, and the second best time is this weekend. Subscribe Zero Depend right now, because next week we are covering how $7 powder could replace your air conditioning. See you then.